going, because I think this is important, because I hear a lot about this Project 2025 bull poop, and it is bull poop. It's horse poop, bull poop. It's nonsense, right? This is the Lincoln Project. This is their YouTube channel. This is what they're saying. This video probably will get struck. If it does, okay, whatever. At the end of the, I did cover some of this. Okay, so, and then it says, and then I did the 2025, because my video cut short because I'm short of storage, right? Oh look, now it comes up. Okay, fine. But what they're putting out there, and like I haven't looked at any of this. I haven't looked at, I mean, I think we already do.
Melody and Vic are throwing in free
We already did
and
this one.
across all orders at the moment, so don't miss them.
I'm all about.
Welcome to the Trump 2024 convention, brought to you by Project 2025. This week in the horrible city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, you'll see the best of the Trump Project 2025 party. It's a
This was put out before the Republican National Convention that happened in Milwaukee. Okay.
bold vision for a bright future. With Trump Project 2025, you'll love how new tariffs will make everything more expensive and set off runaway inflation. We know you'll appreciate paying for the big tax cut our struggling billionaires need. When you seniors are done freeloading, check out Project 2025's.
They say Project 2025 will change your life. For once, they're telling the truth.
Donald Trump gets in for 4 more years. He's going full throttle.
Project 2025 is Trump's plan to make America different, less free, less fair.
So I think this is the stuff that mainstream media is picking up and running with, right? And it's from the Lincoln Project, okay? Which might be a Republican organization or whatever, but, you know, it's like a rhino. It's like Republican in name only. And they're never Trumpers, okay? So this is propaganda straight away. And we did sit through an hour of stuff and listen to the people that actually wrote out the Heritage Foundation, the Project 2025, and it sounds like a mission statement. It sounds like, you know, any company that would take over another company and it has a lot of employees and you want to make sure that the policy and the mission statement and everything filters down through, it's all pretty standard. Are there numbers of concerns there? Yeah, I get that. But have a little bit of faith in the Constitution and stuff. But this, whatever you're about to hear now, I can pretty much guarantee propaganda. It's just absolute rubbish. But, okay, yeah. Orange man, bad.
Less American. It's a roadmap for total control. Trump's control.
The gloves are off. There are no holds barred here.
Not just of the government, of your life, of your body, of every one of your freedoms, of what you can read.
And I'm going to keep pausing it because of copyright. I'm almost definitely going to get a copyright strike for this because I'm speaking against it, right? So, yeah, it will get removed. But we did sit through an hour of the actual people that wrote the stuff for the Heritage with the actual project, right? And then after this, I might Google stuff like residency in Washington, D.C. and the voting numbers, and back up the fact that most of the people that live and work in Washington are Democrats, and or we could just dip into, I don't know, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, James Baker. I don't know if it's the same James Baker because, like, people do have the same names and there are multiple people. Do you know what I mean? Like, every Dave there are multiple Daves. Anyway.
And where you can travel. He'll round up American citizens, use the government to punish his enemies, put the crazy and corrupt in power forever.
It's 4 years of scorched earth when Donald Trump retakes the White House.
But he promises to.
Amazing, because, yeah, the first 4 years were absolutely horrific. No, they weren't. There were no new wars. I mean, and the only stuff that happened was, the Russiagate. I mean, my God, please don't ask me to do a deep dive into that and disprove all of that. And what's the point? Because, no one's going to believe me anyway. No, yeah, I would. I mean, there are many debunkable lies straight away if you just listen to a full clip. I mean, you want to hear the fine people, the Charlottesville speech and the fine people? There were fine people on both sides. And I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists. They should be condemned. Look, I know it by heart. I know what he said. I'll find that in a minute, okay? I think this Lincoln Project, and I've told you the bias of the Lincoln Project. We've listened to the Heritage Foundation. We've listened to the actual people that wrote the Project 2025 stuff. It sounds like a mission statement. It sounds like a company ticket. We will definitely look at the voting numbers for the District of Columbia. Okay, well, I don't know where they vote. I don't know how that works. Because anyway, it doesn't matter.
Only be a dictator for one day. One day, sure.
Yeah, it's just bullshit. Excuse my language. Okay. What did I say I would look at? Right, let's go to Google. Look at me. You're making me work. Because I care, right? This is important. I don't want 50% of America to think that the other 50% of America are a bunch of... Okay, right, I'm not sure. I mean, what do you think we should Google? District of Columbia. I don't know where their votes count. I don't. Okay, I'm interested. Can DC residents vote? Okay, so they have the right to vote. Oh, it's easy to vote, but it still doesn't count. So what's the point of voting if you don't have... Where are the votes? Okay. But let's look at... Okay, you don't have an electoral college. Okay, I'm not going to get distracted by that. Let's have a look at how they voted. Because in the Constitution and also in the, what are they called? Federal papers. Because that's the thing, like Washington, D.C. has become a machine now. And it was never supposed to be... wait, let's have a look at... right, what did I start with? Washington, D.C. voting record. Let's try that. There you go. Straight away. What's this? Okay, it's Wikipedia. You guys, pretty much. Look. Since the enactment of the 23rd Amendment to the Constitution, the district has passed it for the amendments. It cannot have more than this, with this since the Democratic Party has immense political strength in the district. In each of the 15, the district has overwhelmingly voted for the Democratic candidate. So, okay, I'm fact-checking myself, right? I did say that the people that work in the federal government around Washington, D.C. are predominantly Democrats. And this is Wikipedia, and I think they're confirming it for me. So it doesn't, like, no offense, I don't know how the I do know how the electoral college works and stuff like that, but I do know that it was in the Federalist Papers or whatever that Washington DC shouldn't become a political animal, and you have become a political animal. And I think that's something that's trying to be addressed by the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025. I do, because for whatever reason, and here, this is Wikipedia, and you guys, you leftists, you control all of this stuff. Go and check this stuff out, okay? So I'm fact-checking myself, and I'm not wrong. What else did we say we'd look at? You want to have a look at James Baker? Do you think he's got a Wikipedia page? I don't really enjoy reading. No, I don't. No. Right. Yeah, so I wasn't wrong with that. So I think I'm just trying to reinforce the point that you can understand why people would want to do the Project 2025 stuff, because the majority of the people that work in
more than 1,000 Americans.
They are Democrats, yeah. And then they're not going to implement the will of the president, especially if they're Republican, right? And like, all I said is like, maybe it needs to go one level down, something like that. So you want to know who Peter Strzok is? He was in a position where he influenced FBI investigations because of his own personal beliefs. Okay, if I can let's just have a look at this. This is.
I don't give a damn what you appreciate, Agent Strzok. I don't appreciate having an FBI agent.
I said emails earlier, but it's not emails, it was text messages.
With an unprecedented
Peter Strzok and Lisa Page.
level of animus working on 2 major investigations during 2016.
You want me to read this?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. OMG, he's an idiot.
May 4th, 2016.
Now the pressure really starts to finish MYE.
Yeah, it is a surprise they're talking about Trump. Yeah, Trump's an idiot. Okay.
On August 26, 2016, you texted Ms. Page, quote, just went to a Southern Virginia Walmart. I could smell the Trump support. And what does Trump support smell like, Mr. Strzok?
Sir, that's an expression of speech. I clearly wasn't smelling one thing or the other. Mr. Gowdy, as I've stated, that text was written late at night in shorthand.
I don't care when it was written. I don't care whether it was longhand, cursive. I don't care about any of that. I want to know what it meant, Agent Strzok.
It would be his candidacy for the presidency, and my sense that the American population, the FBI received documents and material from Mr. Orr.
Do I have to keep playing this? I mean, some of you may or may not. I really do hope that people who haven't seen this before watch this kind of stuff, okay? I'll probably get struck. I don't care. Oh, struck. Oh, pun. No. Because the mainstream media doesn't even cover this, and that's why I say the mainstream media is lying to you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, but you did not from Mr. Orr.
No.
Okay, but the FBI did get documents from Bruce Orr.
Yes, sir.
Did they get the dossier from Bruce Orr?
My direction from the FBI, as I may tell you, the FBI received material from Mr. Orr.
Now, this is
Congressman,
If you were kicked off when he read the text, shouldn't you have been kicked off when you wrote them?
Not at all.
Well, it wasn't the discovery of your text, Mr. Strzok. It was the existence of your bias that got you kicked off.
No, Mr. Gowdy, it wasn't. I do not have bias. My personal opinions in no way.
Well, then why did you get kicked off? Why'd you get kicked off? I don't give a damn what you appreciate, Agent Strzok.
You can see me now. I'm just freestyling. I'm just randomly. Okay, that's Peter Strzok. And then he was having there's no judgment here. He was having an affair with Lisa Page. I don't even care. But they did have. He does actually have a lot of text messages that are like between the two of them because they were having an affair. So they had very open conversation and stuff, right? And this is a person at a level within and he hates Trump. And he might actually appear in that ABC documentary that, I think he does actually. I think he's in that ABC documentary that I referenced. Right, so we've had a look at the voting history around people who live in the District of Columbia, and it's predominantly Democrat, which supports the reason why a Republican think tank would suggest that Project 2025 or something where you just and I get it. I'm not going to dismiss the fact that we're not talking about a multinational company. We're talking about the government. I get that there are concerns there, but maybe we just need to go a layer down and clean house with the middle management stuff, because 2016 did expose that there were people within the federal government that were pursuing their own agenda, and they were pro-Hillary in 2016. They were pro-Hillary. So, okay, but it's not just them, right? Let's have a look at James Baker. Email. Pfizer. Let's see what we get. I'm a big fan of James Comey. Alright, fine. Let's hear what. I'll definitely get struck by those people, though. Yeah, let's just. We'll have to listen to.
In the wake of the IG report of the Russia investigation, former FBI.
Right, because I'm not going to ask you to listen to James Jordan. He's a Republican. I'm not going to. Okay, this is CNN. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to be said. I haven't checked this in advance. Let's have a look here. Can you see what's there on the screen? This is what we're talking about. Maybe you need to go a level down.
Director James Comey claiming today in an interview on Fox News that he got it wrong when it came to the multitude of mistakes made by the FBI's use of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which is better known as FISA. Comey's admissions come just days after the Inspector General, that's Michael Horowitz, stated in his report that there were significant errors and omissions by the FBI's investigation team when it applied for a FISA warrant to monitor Trump's former campaign advisor, Carter Page.
He's right, I was wrong. I was overconfident in the procedures that the FBI and Justice had built over 20 years. I'm responsible for that. That's why I'm telling you, I was wrong. I was overconfident as director.
And I'm just going to say this as well, partly because of the copyright issue, and I'll just keep adding commentary to try and change the purpose of use or whatever. But then also because I really like Comey. And I believe him. And I really appreciate him being honest, because I think that's what he is. He's honest. I think on their side, he was a bit of a useful idiot. Okay, anyway, use his words, not mine, okay? But I really do like Comey, okay?
In our procedures. And it's important that a leader be accountable and transparent. If I were still director, I'd be saying exactly the same thing that Chris Wray is saying, which is we are going to get to the bottom of this, because the most important question is it systemic? Are there problems in other cases?
Okay, that was Comey today when...
Right, and let's just bring this back again to the reason that we're doing this, Project 2025. And this is what the Heritage Foundation is saying. And even Comey said it himself, possibly systemic problems within the FBI. FBI, the same with the DOJ. We're not talking about dismissing every single civil servant and getting rid of them or anything like that. But maybe it needs to go a level down. Comey had trust, as it turns out, mistrust in people below him, and they had their own motives and agendas, and they pursued that. This is what I'm trying to show you. Okay, and we're talking about Russiagate here, but Russiagate and all of that nonsense, and all the money, the taxpayer money that cost America, to come out with nothing, no result, because you were lied to from the start. And now Project 2025 is supposed to address this and be like, how can we combat the deep state within? I showed you the voting numbers in District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. The majority of people that work within Washington, D.C., they lean Democrat. Peter Strzok, by his own words, go and look at more of his stuff. I'm going to get copyright struck for this, but I don't care, because this is important. 50%, well, it's not 50% of America, but a good number of voters are living under some sort of delusion that Orange Man bad. Look, I don't want to marry him. I don't want him anywhere near my... No, that sounds wrong. I don't mind if he came anywhere near my children or my daughter or something, because he's not a bad man. Right, I've messed it up now. I've ruined it. Just keep listening to this, okay, and just realise why Project 2025 is important. Right, I'm voting for Donald Trump to be... Well, I'm not voting because I'm not an American citizen. But I want Donald Trump to be the next president of the United States, because I do believe that he has the best interests of Americans, all Americans, and that's how he refers to people. You don't put them in little boxes and labels and stuff. All Americans. We just want Americans to do well. We want America to succeed. And he did so... Okay, let's just do this for now, and I can address the other stuff in another video maybe, but...
Comey appeared on CNN the very day the IG report was released. He sounded a lot more defiant about the conclusions it made. Listen.
Do you think this is vindication?
It is. I mean, the FBI's had to wait 2 years while the president and his followers lied about the institution. Finally, the truth gets told. I hope it's not too late, but on all the important things, it tells the truth. They don't want...
Right, hold on a minute. Let's just put that back a bit and recap, because I paused and talked in the wrong place.
FISA. Comey's admissions come just days after the Inspector General, that's Michael Horowitz, stated in his report that there were significant errors and omissions by the FBI's investigation team when it applied for a FISA warrant to monitor Trump's former campaign advisor, Carter Page.
He's right, I was wrong. I was overconfident in the procedures that the FBI and Justice had built over 20 years. I'm responsible for that. That's why I'm telling you, I was wrong. I was overconfident as director in our procedures. And it's important that a leader be accountable and transparent. If I were still director, I'd be saying exactly the same thing that Chris Wray is saying, which is we are going to get to the bottom of this, because the most important question is it systemic? Are there problems in other cases?
Okay, that was Comey today when Comey appeared on CNN the very day.
Oh, so that was Comey today. Now, CNN. Let's show you Comey back in the day before this, when he thought everything was okay. So we've got 1 minute and 4 seconds of the truth. And now we're just gonna... Yeah. That's the way it works. Distortion. This is a distortion of the truth. You heard James Comey. Okay.
The IG report was released, he sounded a lot more defiant about the conclusions it made. Listen.
Do you think this is vindication?
It is. I mean, the FBI's had to wait 2 years while the president and his followers lied about the institution. Finally, the truth gets told. I hope it's not too late, but on all the important things, it tells the truth. They don't want to talk about what we just talked about, that the report is a complete vindication for the FBI against charges of treason, of spying, of planting informants in the camp, of all the criminal conspiracy that was supposed to land all of us in jail, turns out to be nonsense.
You can see quite.
Okay. So you did 38 minutes. Look at me trying to be precise. Oh, not minutes, sorry. 38 seconds of old footage where he was, and you did that after. Why are you even bringing up the old stuff? Comey was lied to. Comey was lied to. Comey was misled. Comey was, I'm sorry, I love him dearly. It was a useful idiot to the left. He was unaware of what was going on under his control. He's a political appointee. Who below him is a political appointee? And that's one of the things with Project 2025, right? Is you've got to go a layer down. You've got to go a layer down. He was misled. He was lied to. Here it is. All right.
Difference. Joining me now to talk about this is CNN Presidential historian Tim Naftali, along with former FBI Special Agent Jeff Lanza. And Jeff, let me start with you. And welcome to both of you, I'm sorry. How can Comey claim complete vindication from the IG report, yet also admit misconduct?
I think, Martin, when he says vindication, I think he's talking about vindication in that the FBI was not using malicious attempts to overthrow the president, to commit treason, to illegal wiretap. I think he's talking about vindication in that context. He's not talking about vindication in terms of the mistakes that were made and the omissions that were made in the FISA application.
Nonetheless, what do you think this does, Jeff, as far as Comey's credibility?
Well, I think it definitely hurts his credibility as former director of the FBI. He's ultimately responsible, at that time he was, of the FISA warrants that are sent to the court. Now, he has said, and it's very clear to anyone, that you can't oversee in explicit detail every single investigation that's going on. The FBI has thousands of those at any given time. But an investigation of this magnitude, of this importance, there's got to be more of a hands-on approach, if not from the director, then from people directly under him. And I have been involved in numerous investigations of much less importance.
Amazing. So there you go. Somebody talking on CNN, talking about, exactly the same things. Maybe you need to go a level lower. Yeah, Comey wasn't aware of what was happening, and he's 100% Democrat, and he's definitely anti-Trump. He hates him. So it's all right. I gotta go do something. I'm gonna upload this.